if SummerSlam's not slamming you enough, then we'll slam you right here. Marcus, how you doing today?
Getting out of control, Dominic. I'm doing well. Excited to talk about what I believe to be the biggest debut in the history of pro wrestling.
History of pro wrestling?
I can't think of one bigger.
I was gonna say but memorable debuts, like the most memorable debut probably in our wrestling fandom, Jericho, on Raw.
Yeah, but it's Jericho didn't get the sort of reaction that Punk got, not by a long shot.
It was fucking crazy, man.
Taz is probably a second to this one. That's really the only one in WWE.
Yeah, what's up, Steven? Steven's in the house.
Yo, Steven, what's going on, man? But then Taz fizzled out right away. Not his fault. WWE just didn't like him. Vince thought he was too short or whatever. And but I mean, what a debut he had, coming out beating the undefeated Kurt Angle.
Right, man. Yeah, but Marcus, it was crazy. I did happen to send a tweet to CM Punk right before the show, so maybe he'll come on. I invited him on the show.
I would assume he'll be with us shortly.
Yeah, he might be here. You never know. That's you cast the line out there. Talk a little hockey. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes.
I'll tell you what, Ricky is not fucking around over there. He's ready to talk Bray Wyatt.
He's ready to talk Bray Wyatt.
On to the next, pal.
Oh, we'll get there. But yeah, Marcus, let's obviously we got to talk about CM Punk returning to wrestling.
Yes, absolutely.
Holy smokes, Marcus, how'd you think? I mean, we talked about it just right now, but how'd you think it all was executed? Let's just start off with just them kicking it off right then and there with them walking down to the ring, and then we'll get to the details of the promo afterwards. But
it was kind of having him come down to the ring like that was kind of the only way to do it, because everybody knew he was there, everybody knew he was coming out, and it's like, let's just do it, let's just jump right into it. So they brought him out, nailed it, and dude, I'm telling you, I don't get chills often while I'm watching anything on TV. I got legit chills watching that. You could see the emotion on his face. You could see the emotion, obviously, on the fans' faces. I think one of them got turned into a meme recently.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that too. I have that on the list.
Yes, but man, it was something else. I've never seen anything like it in all my time watching wrestling. I don't remember, honestly. Anybody in the comments, can you think of a bigger debut? I can't come up with one.
I really can't either, honestly.
I think Bret Hart could have been that big, but it was botched.
Yeah. Scott Hall's, I think, has that lasting impact where you look back and wow, that was a big one. But it was also, and I think maybe for the time it might have meant something. But again, we weren't tuned in at that point, and we became tuned in later on. So that says something for a debut. But that wasn't even technically a debut, I guess, because he was Diamond Stud before in WCW. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're right. Scott Hall's, as far as historical, Scott Hall's might be the most historical, but I mean, at least to this point, who knows? Maybe CM Punk's will go down as even more historical.
I know. Definitely, it's got to be at least the very least top 3, I would think, right?
Benjamin's like, come on, what are you guys doing? We're trying to watch.
It's really on right now. Yeah, we're rivaling SummerSlam.
Trying to watch SummerSlam over here, man.
We're going against competition here. That's right, we're competition.
That's what this is, the Saturday Night Wars.
Here I am in my fucking office. Marcus is in his man cave there, and we're going up against the 50,000 something on Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
They don't stand a chance.
Not a chance, man. Look, we're just boiling over with people.
Yeah, I mean, we probably should wait till tomorrow.
I was thinking that maybe. But you know what? We pulled the trigger right here and right now. I tweeted it out. I was like, I tweeted out there in the ether. We got to stick with it, Yep.
Yeah, Benjamin, CM Punk though, dude, it's something else. We were just talking about it. It's an incredible debut. Honestly, anybody in the comments, come up with a bigger one. I'm honest. I'm genuinely asking. I'm not challenging anybody. I really want to know. Nesha, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Nesha's in. She's like, what the fuck? I'm over here trying to watch SummerSlam.
Giving me hell last night about it. But Marcus, I think him walking out like that, and just showing that raw emotion, and him getting choked up and teared up about it too. But him just loving life, diving into the crowd and hugging people, just going by and hugging people and stuff like that. It's it was really, really cool to see. And like,
I'll tell you what, the part that really stuck out for me during all of it was a line that he had where he said, I was never going to get better staying in the place that made me sick in the first place. And it was
yeah,
just like, damn.
yeah. How about
Uh,
that?
yeah, I mean, still unbelievable on the mic. I'm expecting a lot of great moments. And Dominic, is this it? Are the tides turning in professional wrestling? Is AEW the unstoppable force in professional wrestling?
It's the hot ticket, that's for sure. I mean, you just look at what WWE has done over the course of the past 20 years since it unseated WCW, and you look at what developed. Like, I mean, the global, from a global perspective, from like the hierarchy and Wall Street and all these shareholders and like just TV deals and them establishing themselves as the wrestling brand, which we'll talk about that in a second too. Wrestling, but you look at that, and I don't think you can look at it from that perspective. Who knows? Like, at some point, I mean, like, there's plenty of signs that shows, obviously with the infrastructure of what WWE presents as a television product is not engaging to fans, is dry. SummerSlam's going on right now, and like that crowd is raucous from what I was reading in the tweets and stuff like that. So obviously, like, people love WWE and stuff like that. There's that huge fan base, but hey, what we saw on Friday night is how hot you can see wrestling again. See it, that crowd reaction, him being back, certified bona fide star. You want to see Jungle Boy get to that level. You want to see Darby Allin get to that level. You want to see Orange Cassidy get to that level. You want to see Kenny Omega get to that level. Like, and the list goes on. But and that's the same thing with stars in WWE. That's what you would want to see from them. But when have we heard a Road Warrior pop like that?
Never. I don't expect to hear one again. At least not for many years. It was an unbelievable debut. And I was thinking about it earlier today, Dominic. AEW is probably a lot like what WCW would look like today, if you really think about it. It's they're picking up talent that's either been released by WWE or has been dissatisfied by WWE. That was WCW. So it's backed by a billionaire who's coming in from another realm. So I don't know, man. It's the logo. I mean, it's clearly the AEW logo is clearly a spinoff of the old WCW logo. So it's just, it's honestly, it's kind of like in 2019, we got WCW back, and slowly but surely they're starting to pick up momentum, and they're starting to get some of these big names. And guess, like a lot of people are calling it like WWE Light or whatever it is. But here's the thing is that, and you and I have discussed this ad nauseum, but like when you bring in a big talent like CM Punk, you bring in a big talent like Bryan Danielson, they help to level up the other talent as well. Look, it happened with Hall and Nash when they came to WCW. Diamond Dallas Page was kind of squandering in the mid card. The next thing you know, these guys come in, they see something in him, they up his value by putting him over and making him look strong. Next thing you know, DDP is one of the hottest tickets in professional wrestling.
Yeah, right. Packaged him the right way. DDP just kind of embraced like who he was as like a people's champion and the fighting guy that goes against WCW. You incorporate that with the Loner Sting, and then you mix in Goldberg later on, and you have like the forces, some viable forces going against the NWO.
Yeah.
Now with this, and I thought it was it was such a well-delivered promo by Punk. And like, yeah, it really, because I'm thinking like, he's so emotional. Is he going to be able to execute a promo like with that emotion flowing through him at this point? He just fucking nailed it. Like, there was, and what he said too about like August 13th, 2005 ROH was, I left professional wrestling, and like never saying WWE, those letters, but referring WWE. And he's like, August 20th, 2021, I'm back.
Yeah, I mean, that's something else where he's just like, basically he never spent time in professional wrestling since he was in ROH, which is
all right. MVP for the week. Who's yours?
no other choice. CM Junk. it's the only route.
It really is, especially if we're doing it for the week.
Yeah, No, it's there's that's a layup. CM
It's
Punk
such a
all
layup,
day.
Marcus. Such a great moment in wrestling. Really, we're gonna look back on this, and I don't know how if we didn't even focus too much on it, but we're gonna look back on it. It's gonna be like, damn, what a moment in wrestling that was. You know,
No question about it. This is one of those things that I mean that's a wrestling moment I will always remember because it was like it gave me chills. It was incredible. The crowd reaction, the sound, the amount of noise that crowd was making, just insane, dude.
a lot of cool moments there, and like just the authenticity to it all too. Something,
Yep.
and even you look back, like you didn't hear probably any of the scrum or the media call that him and Tony Khan did together, but like Punk talked about was pretty open about stuff for the most part, and like talked about hey, him and Tony have been talking a while. He's an AEW guy. He's not against necessarily either working at New Japan or working Impact, but right now he's AEW. He wants to be in the AEW pool kind of thing. And like just he's happy to be back. And like Punk even said during that promo that it wasn't he never soured on pro wrestling, but on loving pro wrestling, but it was being in WWE basically, and just having that where he was what you mentioned with that line where he's like it wasn't a healthy being in a healthy environment,
Right.
so it's just neat to see somebody happy, somebody that wants to. He said too he wants to help people, like he wants to be like that, like help people like Terry Funk help him and Dusty and Harley Race and listed all those names and stuff like that. So it's just neat to see like somebody that's excited and motivated. Punk, because Punk, that's how we all felt. But like, well, he just doesn't. He might not be into it anymore. Like, it just might not be his. Like, he might just be so scorned by it and everything like that. But it's like, but no, he's ready to roll, man, and it's good to see. So
And fun time to be a fan. Steve wants to know if we think within a year they'll be able to fill a stadium. Yes.
you think so? That's
It depends on what route they take and how well they execute. But yeah, I don't see why not. And like, here's the thing: is like if you build CM Punk and
Bryan Danielson.
no,
Omega?
if you build the feud between CM Punk and Kenny Omega well enough and long enough, I think you could fill a stadium with it.
It's going to take some time, I feel. A year,
Hang on.
possibly. We'll see how things go. Melter said they couldn't fill 10,000 or what it was at All Out or All In, and look, they did it. So I mean, but like, hey, a year from now, where is wrestling going to be at a year from now? Like, the whole landscape could be extremely different. And this could be the sign of it, the start of things to come. I don't know. Like, that's what makes it exciting right now. It's such a fun fucking time to cover this stuff.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta stop my cat.
Uh-oh. Up to no good. Come on, Bear. Doing it.